Wow.
He came up with this entire new business concept.
Cool. Very nice.
The business building basics are all right here.
Hey guys, Abby Johnson here with Matterhorn Business Development, and of course I am joined by Greg Winteregg, our CEO and author of
course.
Fun at Work.
That's me.
So today is the next in our startup series, and we're going to go over the 4 things you need to know when naming your business.
Yep.
So, number 1, dubbed by you, which is...
You have to like it.
That's important if you want to have fun at work, that you actually like.
So I have to tell you how we came up with Matterhorn.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of years ago, my wife and I went to Zermatt, Switzerland. Winteregg is Swiss. That's my heritage. And we're at Zermatt, and I paid extra to have a view of the Matterhorn, because when you go to Zermatt, that's the attraction.
Right.
And I'm in the morning, and I'm taking pictures with my iPad. I'm doing research on Wikipedia. About 500 people have died scaling the Matterhorn.
Wow.
And the advice is, if you want to live, you should have a guide. I'm like, oh, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to call it Matterhorn. Now, at the time, I didn't know what the business was, but Matterhorn was going to be in the name. So this is a name that I've always liked.
Yeah, it means a lot to us. We're a family-owned company.
Right.
My maiden name is Winteregg. Neil is obviously Winteregg. So
we have our own mountain in Switzerland.
We
just don't own it.
We don't yet. So for
it
us,
has to be a name that you like.
Right, and so our name means a lot to us.
Yeah, and we have a lot of ownership and pride in that.
Right. Number 2, on the other hand of that, is the name needs to make sense. It needs to be communicated to people, and when they hear it, they're like, okay, I get what that is. I've seen a lot of businesses where someone likes the name, but then it doesn't actually make sense to anyone else. And the way to find this out is you need to survey people.
Yep.
Even if it's just your friends and family, make a post on Facebook. You know, I would say pick 4 or 5 that you like. I've seen people do variations. Like we even had, when we were doing ours, we had Matterhorn Business Services. Like we had different variations. I think maybe some without Matterhorn in it.
That's right.
And Matterhorn Business Development was the one that communicated to people.
And I'll tell you what's cool is when we go to network meetings and we hand out our card, these are strangers. They immediately go, love the name. Hear that all the time. Love the name. They don't even know what we do yet.
Right.
Matterhorn Business Development, they don't even know exactly what we do. Love the name. Right. So survey it and just look at the emotional reaction that you get.
Right, and just it should communicate part of what you do. I've seen a lot of high-end boutiques or spas or just places where they come up with some fancy name, but it doesn't say like what do you do in it at all. It doesn't mean you have to be like Bob's Plumbing Company, but something that doesn't have to be super basic, but it should communicate a little bit what your industry is or the idea or feeling behind your brand.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, good. So
Number
3 is it should be easily pronounced or easy to spell. So we've seen some, again, complicated names where it's like you can't pronounce it, so then it's hard to remember, or you don't really want to try. Like, you need to catch people's attention within half of a second, and if it's something difficult to read, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave your website, or they're gonna just write you off. And
Neil and I, while we're preparing for this and having just a brief discussion about it, there's a particular business and it's successful. They have a very large facility, but we've all been driving past it for years. I don't know, 5, 8 years, and Neil's like, what does that mean? What does it say? And it's all in script.
Right.
The only way we knew the name of the business was to Google the address and read it like with it printed in a regular font.
Right.
So the company is successful, and it doesn't mean any of this you're going to fail if you violate these, but hey, you're getting started. Let's make it as easy as possible to succeed. So if you have a name that you like and a name that's easily communicated and easily understood, then you're just making it easier to communicate and brand yourself.
Right. So then that leads to number 4, which is when you're creating a logo or you're hiring someone to create a logo, make sure your name is legible and it's understood.
Yeah.
I see too many people trying to be like esoteric and cool and whatever, and you don't need to be those things. You can still be hip, you can still be cool while making something that is easily read. Clean lines and easy reading is actually kind of an in style, but just like that thing, some fancy script of some long word that can't be pronounced, you're going to have people not interested in your services.
Absolutely.
I think actually a good example is my brother Vince's company, Elements Design Co. has very clean lines. His logo is very simple. His name says design. You know he does something in design. He does interior design and kitchen renovation. And it's just a simple, clean logo that you can read very easily. It's on the back of his truck. So his truck, you know, if you're following him, you see it very clearly. And yeah, so someone has to be able to read and understand what it is that you do. So
I think my final take on this is don't try to get too fancy.
Yeah.
Don't try to get too artsy.
Yeah.
There's a dental office that I drive by all the time, and it used to say dentist with the doctor's name. Now, that is plain and boring. I don't know how much money he spent, but there is now this logo, and it's got palm trees, and it's got waterfalls, and took down dentist.
I mean, I want my dentist to have waterfalls, right?
And so when you drove past before, you at least saw dentist in his name.
Right.
That's gone, and now here's this piece of art, and I have to look for his name in there.
Right.
That's not good.
And you don't have to compromise on the aesthetics of your brand or your logo.
But don't make it complicated.
Right.
It's not a work of art. You're not in a photo contest or an art contest. It has to communicate.
Right. A good example is Bel Air Coffee Company, our fave. On their actual big sign of their shop, it just says coffee.
Yeah.
But then on the windows, it has their nice logo, which Vince actually designed. Our brother, my brother, and their name, Bel Air Coffee Company. It
immediately
communicates,
registers.
Okay, they do coffee, most likely tea, but their actual sign is very simple. Yeah. But I bet you they bring people in just by saying coffee.
Absolutely.
So there is a balance. You don't have to be completely boring, but don't try to be too fancy and interesting. You really want your name and your logo to communicate your brand and raise interest and awareness in the people that are seeing it.
Absolutely.
So make sure you survey the name and the logo. Have your designer make a few different logo designs, see which one's best. We did the same thing. And if you need help, we have some great designers in our network of contacts, and our contact info will be below if you have any questions.
Here's an idea. If you're trying to come up with a name, put 4 or 5 names in the comment on this video and just survey our
viewers.
Viewers, yes.
Yeah, those guys.
The people who watch us.
You guys.
You guys. Yeah, and then say, hey guys, what do you think about this one, this one, this one? And then just look in the reply. Yeah. And it's an immediate survey. Yeah. So quick tip.
Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Go watch our other Startup Series videos if you haven't already. And
buy the book.
Buy the book. Fun at Work.
I just want to throw in a plug for the book. Just talked to a guy in Venezuela. Things are not good down there right now.
Right.
He bought my book and he's just like completely blown out.
Wow.
He came up with this entire new business concept.
Very nice.
The business building basics are all right here.
Super, super important. All right. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.